The facelift Mercedes W210 starting in 2000 came with LED turn signals on the side mirrors, but still used halogen lights on the front and the rear. The pre-facelift cars, particularly the 96 and 97 model years, are very early in their CAN bus system, so are not very sensitive to LED lighting. The later models are very sensitive to what kind of lights you put in them. Recently I discovered that almost all W210s can run LED lights if you use the correct bulbs, and today I'm going to put LED lights in my 2002 E430. The LEDs I've chosen for the turn signals are the Auxito 1156. These should be error-free on facelift W210s as well as pre-facelift. They're plug and play and they're not overly bright like some of the other ones are. So let's go ahead and take a look and put them on. So they don't appear to be oversized at all, so they should just be a direct replacement. So here are the stock turn signals running. So this is just a hazard function, so both of them are running. And we'll see that they kind of dim on and off pretty quickly. It's not instant, and then it's not quite super amber, the intensity of it. So obviously mine's a little bit older and the amber tinting has kind of flaked off. This is not quite as amber as it would be if you had a brand new bulb, but this still kind of goes to show how poorly it wears over time. And I've seen people actually just run white bulbs here and that looks pretty terrible in my opinion. It should be amber. Here's that nice factory LED turn signal on the mirror. Nice and amber, nice and instant on and off and super bright. And here's the rear. So it's pretty orange because these bulbs are new. Same problem with the rear. The tint flakes off on the bulb and it turns white, and some people just replace them with white bulbs by mistake. It's supposed to be amber. So the amber just looks way better in my opinion. To change out the front turn signals, you'll have to pop open your hood, and it's located right at the very top right here, this little white socket, and there's a connector on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the connector first so we don't break it. So there it is, just a 2-pin connector set off to the side. So now we can go ahead and access the bulb. So you'll feel there's some tabs. So you just gotta rotate it that way. So that's counterclockwise if you're looking at it from the back of the car. And now we can remove it. So here's the bulb. It is 1156, super easy. It's you push it down and then twist it to remove it. So I could just do that with one hand. So there it is. And then we'll see stamped right here, 1156. Might be a little hard to see, but I'll show you on the other one. It is just stamped 1156. It's not something else. So someone tells you otherwise, it's not true. It is 1156. So here is the LED. So really similar in size, a little bit taller, probably not as wide. All right, installation is just the same thing because the actual socket itself is the same on the bulb. So we just line up those pins right there. It's in. So we push this in and rotate it clockwise until it gets in there, and now it's stable, so we can go ahead and put it in the car. So super simple, just feed it in real carefully and then get this to sit flush before you do anything else. We're going to twist it clockwise if we were facing the front of the car like that. So clockwise until it snaps. There it is. Connect the electrical. There's a plastic tab that'll fit at the top right there. You can see it from here. So right there, just push it in and we're done. A lot less orange visible now, so you can kind of see the bulb through there, but if we look at the other side, a little bit more orange visible. So that's kind of like iconic look on the 210 in my opinion, so we do lose that, but I think the benefits far outweigh the drawbacks. Actually, you can still kind of see a bit of yellow because the diodes are yellow. It's not too far gone, but I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna be able to tell. So I'll go ahead and do the other side and come back. And here's the other bulb. We'll see it's stamped 1156. And these are Osram, I believe. So that is like an OEM for this. So Osram. So we'll see it's flaking off. It looks pretty bad. And it's a little bit less amber because of that. So let's go put the new bulb in. All right, both sides are in. I just did the passenger side. So a little bit of a difference from the outside just because of the less amber reflection inside the headlight, but it's very subtle. So now let's go do the back. So in the back, we got to release this carpet panel. So it is usually hooked into the plastic. Yours might not be. So you just push forward, out, and up. And there's this yellow socket. So we twist it counterclockwise, pull it out. And here's another 1156 bulb. So we'll see this is in much better shape than the other ones. It's a lot deeper amber and it's not flaking off. So same thing, you push it inward, twist it, comes right out. And these are actually brand new factory bulbs I bought with the taillights. So Osram 1156, that is what they are. So it literally works the same way. There's those 2 tabs. It's a push and twist as the back, so same thing. So installs reverse order and it should just fit without any fuss. So here it is. Make sure we line up the tabs right there. So make sure it's sitting flush and the tabs are lined up. Push it in slightly and twist clockwise, and once it snaps, it's in. So let's go do the other side and wrap it up. Don't forget to close this. A lot of people forget there's that little tab right there. So get it in underneath and it's locked into place now. Okay, so now we have all 4 turn signal bulbs installed in the front and the rear. So now the only way to test if this actually works is to have the car on and have the left or right turn signal going. If you have the hazards on, that will not test out if they hyper flash or not. So we'll have to do one side at a time. Okay, so I'm gonna start the car. So here it is started. And then actually go to the malfunction display just to make sure. Okay, so left turn signal, we're good there. Let's check out the outside. So here we have the factory LED on the side mirror, really nice. We've got the LED on the front, nice and bright, but not too bright, I would say. It's just nice and visible. So let's see, we're doing the driver's side first. Here's the back. So no hyper flash, working as it should. Let's check out the other side. Okay, so now we'll go for the passenger side, the right side. So we got our bulb working there, got our side mirror working, and here's the back. No hyper flash, no malfunctions, good to go. So because both the left and right work individually, of course the hazard switch will not have an issue. So here are both the fronts, working flawlessly, no hyper flash, nice and bright, instant on and off, no dimming, and it's a nice bright amber light. So if we look at the color too, I think it's slightly off from the factory amber, maybe not too off, but still it's pretty close. It's way closer than the amber halogen bulbs were. Very happy, and the fact that it's instant on and off, now it matches, is a big plus for me. And then same thing from the back, both of them work, instant on and off, no hyper flash. All right, in case there's any doubters, let's turn on the lights. Fog light, rear fog light, no malfunction. Turn signal, not a problem at all. No hyper flash, no malfunction. And here's the rear, and that has a rear fog light right there, so it's only supposed to be on the driver's side for US cars, but no hyper flash, that's what we're looking for. And let's go ahead and switch to the right side, and still no malfunction there. Check that out. Only lights on is the brake, because I have the parking brake engaged. So let's take a look at the outside. So all good here. And the rear light. Okay, so these Auxitos are tested and working on my W210. I have tried the Auxito lights as well, and they did not work. They hyper flashed. So I would highly recommend going for the Auxitos. Not all of these LED bulbs that are canvas air free will work on your car, but as you saw in the video, the Auxitos work. So if you do want a set, check the description below. I will link the exact ones I used. All right, so looking at the car from a little distance, the lights are bright, but I don't think they're super blinding at all. Some of them I've seen, for example, the last fit lights are way too bright in my opinion. They're just blinding. They're almost as bright as the headlights. They're probably as bright as the high beams, honestly. These are a nice brightness. These definitely do grab your attention, which is good. So here's the view from the back. Not too bright, like I said, but it's still gonna catch your eye, which is good. In the daytime, the difference might not be so noticeable. You probably just see that it's a little bit brighter and the instant on and off, but at nighttime, I think that's when you really see a difference. So we'll wait until it gets dark and I'll show you what they look like at night. All right, here's the car in my dark garage. The sun is down. It's not quite super dark yet, but let's take a look. Yeah, that's pretty bright. Look how it illuminates the back right there. Yeah. Okay, so here we are inside of the car in my garage, so it's dark. That orange you're seeing is a side marker, so I'll go ahead and turn that off. So here are the turn signals in the dark garage. So we're seeing a lot of the mirror right there, but then look at the actual reflection. So that's pretty bright. Here just from the front, that's pretty bright. And then on the right side, that's pretty bright. And then if we look at the reflection in the rear view, that's pretty bright as well. I would say it's not so annoying, it's just brighter. And let's go turn the lights. Yeah, it's quite a bit brighter, I would say. You can definitely see more of the amber reflection on the building over there. All right, here it is from the outside. So it is actually pretty bright. Look at the reflection on the ground. And then if we look at my garage door here, you'll see it's going all the way back over here. So I would say this can be considered annoyingly bright for some people. Your turn signal will definitely be noticed, so there's no excuse for not seeing it. I would say that the rear matches the front really well in terms of brightness. It's pretty much the same. The side turn signals are definitely noticeably brighter than the incandescent bulbs. So at least for the rear it matches. So in terms of the front, I would say from the side angle right here, if we lower the exposure, From the side angle right here, it's pretty close in terms of brightness and color to the side. There's the side right there, and there's the front. But then when you go head on, it's a little bright. Let's go ahead and go back to auto. There you see it, pretty bright reflection on the ground over there. It's like, this is the worst angle of it when you're kind of staring down at it. But inside of a car, you'll never be at this angle. You kind of be more like right here, which right here is definitely better. And you can see just how bright it is with the reflection in the garage door. They're really happy with the color. It's pretty close to the side mirror blinker. So here is the view from the back. You can kind of see just how bright the fronts are. So this might be too much for some people. I personally like it. This is definitely a lot less bright than the last fit LEDs are, and some LEDs are even brighter, and some LEDs are dimmer. You have to kind of compromise with choosing LEDs here because there just isn't that many that work with this car that don't hyper flash, and this is one of the few that don't. So I think for right now, this is what I'm gonna run. I'm pretty happy with it. The brightness is acceptable to me. The color is good compared to the factory LED turn signal on the mirror there. So here's kind of what it looks like in person. And when you get down here, it's just really bright. So, but from a normal angle, it's actually pretty acceptable. So yeah, pretty bright. All right, there's a closer look at W210 LED turn signal. So if these work on facelift W210s, which are more sensitive to LED lighting, they should have no problem working on the pre-facelift as well. The links to the exact bulbs that I use are in the description. So if you are interested, check them out. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. And thank you for watching.